All right, Tyler, we are live. We've got a chiropractor and a physical therapist that agree on something. Who would have thought that was even possible?
Agree on quite a few things, though, right?
Hey, we do. I tell you what, this riff, we're closing the gaps. We are
Yeah.
closing the gaps, one conversation at a time. So we definitely do. Everybody out there, Tyler and I recently read an article, and what was the title of the article, Tyler?
14 exercises never to do if you're over the age of 50. Something of that.
Something of that nature. And who
So,
wrote it?
it was Reader's Digest, and then they had like excerpts from a chiropractor, a PT, and another doctor, like just little type of things, but basically just compiled this list of 14 exercise.
Experts.
Yes, yeah, yeah, quote unquote experts in that, but yeah. Um,
Okay, so we're going to do a little smackdown of this. But first of all, Tyler, tell us why you are an expert in this field and what you do for on an everyday basis for a living.
so I'm a physical therapist. I graduated 4 years ago. Been doing was in at a rehab facility doing inpatient, outpatient, mostly with the older population. And then for the last almost 3 years, I've been at home health physical therapy, and my main population is 70 and older. Working on balance, decreasing risk of falling, increasing strength, increasing power, and everything else, just so to get these people back from being dependent to independent in their living situation. And it, yeah, so that's I do that on a day in day out basis, seeing the geriatric population.
So I think it's fair to say that you know a thing or two about what exercises that the geriatric population should be doing. In particular, this article said anybody over 50.
Yeah,
And we know over 50, 50 is so young. My
50,
goodness.
very young.
We have CrossFitters over 50 that are just slaying it, picking up heavy things, putting them down, staying strong, being active, and I feel like 50 is just around the corner for me, even though it's, so I certainly want to be doing all those things. And not only that, even later, and we'll talk about some of those things. So I just picked out some of the most egregious. There was like 13 or 14 exercises, things they said, but some of the most egregious ones that I thought were just crazy that you would tell someone over 50 not to do.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I saw on the list was that I thought was insane was a push-up.
Yep.
What did the article say about push-ups?
What they want you to do is instead of doing push-ups on the ground, they want you to do a push-up on a wall. When do we ever functionally do a push-up on a wall? And that for me doesn't make any sense. Even you can modify a push-up on the ground for most anybody. I have a 90-year-old patient right now that we're doing basically modified push-ups from the ground to help him if he did fall. How is he going to get back up? And so we modify it in the sense of to get him up off the ground. Why would I have him now? If this guy was super low level, then maybe I'd start him at like push-ups at a sink or push-ups at on a wall. But this is for 50 and older,
Yeah.
right?
And you would do that with the intent of hopefully getting him to a point where he could push himself off the ground, right? So the reason why you would want someone to do that is because guess what? You're gonna find yourself on the floor at some point.
Oh yeah,
And how do you get off the floor besides doing some form of a push-up off the
yep,
floor? So it's as functional as they come. Of
yeah,
course, everyone should be able to do a push-up of some sort. That doesn't mean it has to be a perfect toes, perfect straight body line, but you should be able to lay on your belly and push yourself up to some extent because if you end up on the ground that way and you're 90 years old, you need to be able to get out of that situation.
yeah. And this and being reminded 50 years and older. They're telling people 50 plus not to do a push-up.
So
Like,
49 and a half, you can do push-ups. 50,
done.
You're done.
Don't do it anymore. Got to do it on the wall now, which provides no tension whatsoever going from a wall. So.
Exactly. So kind of in that same realm, they had burpees. Like don't ever do a burpee. And that's kind of, for me, it kind of seems like the same sort of concept, right? Burpee is just getting yourself to the ground and then back up off the ground, which probably seems pretty important functionally, right?
Yeah. And the biggest thing what they said too is to take away the jump from the burpee, which makes no sense to me. Why take away a jump from the burpee when that is the power in your legs? We need that power in our legs to prevent falls, to have this fast-paced movement. You should be able to jump a little bit. Everybody should be able to jump a little bit.
You said something to me the other day that I thought was pretty interesting. You said that power rather than strength is a better predictor of a fall. Tell me what the difference is between power and strength, and then tell me why that would be important in preventing a fall in the geriatric population.
So power includes velocity. So we need to be able to. Strength doesn't include velocity. So strength is do a squat, and you can do a squat at heavy weight, and you can go as faster, go slow. It doesn't that. The strength going up from the squat or going down from the squat, that's the strength. But the power is like a jump. So you're doing it with force and with speed to get back up. And it's shown. There's a recent study that came out that power is a better predictor of whether or not person is going to fall or not, and so, with that said, we need to include activities that increase the power in older populations, because they don't do that stuff anymore. They don't. A lot of these people that are older aren't doing quick movements, and that quick movement we need to be able to make sure that they have, because if they trip or if they clip their toes on something, or if someone nudges them and they can't have that fast-paced movement to stop them or to widen their base of support, then they're going to fall. And that's the power. That's the power right there, to be able to have that connection of hurry and widening that base of support, or getting that more foot placed a little bit more forward, or getting that foot underneath of them a little bit quicker. And that's what we need to keep, not let them not do anymore.
Awesome. So power is the ability to apply strength quickly, and in a situation where someone's walking and they stub a toe or something, they need to be able to apply strength quickly to get their foot in front of them, and then use the strength to catch themselves. So they need to be able to use that power to be able to prevent a fall. So, and things like jump is applying strength in a quick, more explosive manner, which will help develop the ability to recover from a stumble without falling.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah. It said someone over 50 should never do crunches.
Yeah. Because they said, what was it? I think it's because of the alignment on the spine. If you crunch them up, it's going to cause too much strain on your back.
You would never need to be able to sit up from a laying down position over 50, right? Like, that's not something you would need to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is something you need to do all the time.
It's something you have to do all the time. Exactly. And they said to do a plank instead. Planks are great. You should be doing planks. Planks are great, but that's a push-up, and that's why. And so I didn't understand why you would do a plank instead of, you can do a plank, but you can't do a push-up. And then also with the crunches, it didn't make sense to me at all, one bit.
The whole thing's kind of bananas. The one other one I had on here that I thought was, well, there's two of them. They kind of go together. We'll start with deadlifts.
Yeah, deadlifts. Yeah.
Tell me why someone over 50 would need to be able to do a deadlift.
How do you pick anything off the ground?
Oh
I mean,
yeah, all the
oh
time.
wait, like maybe your groceries, or maybe your dog on the ground, or maybe whatever you're picking up off the ground, you got to be able to do.
How many of your clients have a cat?
Yeah, exactly.
Would they need to pick up the kitty litter off the ground and
On the ground,
pour it in and
what yeah, whatever's on the ground, their purse, their groceries, their what anything. I mean, anything that's on the ground, you got to be able to pick up. I have my patients doing deadlifts. I have them doing with like a gallon, a gallon of milk. I put them on the ground and we do deadlifts with a gallon of milk. Or I have them do with other stuff. I have them and I get them in the same position that, neutral spine, everything else, get them to squat down a little bit and get them down to do that because it is important for them to deadlift. And
yeah.
it's not going to cause, doing a deadlift correctly is not going to cause any too much strain on you because we all got to lift heavy things.
Everyone's going to have to perform a deadlift in their life. Like I said, grandma's going to have to lift the kitty litter, so we should teach them how to do it properly
Yeah.
and use equipment that's very easy to move. Sport like a barbell or even a gallon of milk, so that you can teach them how to do it in a safe environment. Then they will do it in a way that doesn't hurt themselves.
Exactly.
So of course, these are all basically functional movements that happen all throughout life. And if we're going to age well, then we need to keep doing functional movements. The last one I saw in there was squats with weight. Why would you think someone in the geriatric population may even want to apply weight to a squat? Or do you think they should?
I think they should. I think they need to learn the technique of an air squat first to be able to have good technique to be able to do it. If they can't go down as deep due to flexibility or anything else, then applying weight isn't a bad thing. I would say as long as they're doing it correctly. If they can't go parallel, that's fine. I think it's important to put weight on their legs though to increase the load to their muscles because their muscles, they should be able to do a squat with a little bit of weight even if they can't go down parallel to. I think it's a great thing. I think they should be doing weight.
Squats, even with weights in your hands, I think is somewhat functional, right? Like you've got to kind of squat down to lower the groceries to the ground or to get the kitty litter to the ground, or it's a reverse deadlift sort of thing, but you've got to have some ability to squat even with a little bit of weight in your hands or on your back in order to be a functional human.
Yeah, no, yeah, I completely agree. And it's all about it's all about modifying to what they can and can't do. I mean, and progressing them to get them to that point to where they can keep on going ahead and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Because we all have progress that we can make, and depending on our goals. And a lot of these people in the geriatric population, they end up in the hospital all the time. If you can get that person to be stronger, more fit prior to getting a rehospitalization, they're going to be so much more better off after the hospitalization than they were before if they weren't. And so it's super important for them to do that so they can return home. We don't want them in the hospital any longer than they want to be there. So if they can get stronger and have a better fitness prior to going in, then their overall quality of life is going to be that much better.
Indeed. I bet when you read that article, you were pretty frustrated. Tell me why you were frustrated. Like Reader's Digest. I mean, how many of your clients or patients have Reader's Digest sitting on their coffee table?
I see it every day, to be honest. I mean, I see these books in these magazines laying on their coffee table. I mean, and that's what they read. They read Reader's Digest. They have like all the different types of National Geographic, all those magazines, and that small one's on there all the time. And they read it, and then they see these names afterwards saying that they're a PT or they're a doctor or whatever it is. They're like, oh, okay. I needed, I had one patient today she was told by a doctor that she shouldn't get on her upright bike because she's not fit enough to get on a bike. And I was like, what do you mean you're not fit enough to get on the bike? Well, he said I have to ease into it. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can get on the bike and ease into the bike. Do 5 minutes, see how you feel. And, and then if you feel good, then go a little bit more. We should never tell someone that they can't do something. You should always try to encourage more movement, more exercise, so that patient, and understand that let's modify it to what that person can do. Perfect. Don't discourage movement.
Yeah. So and I think it's actually pretty irresponsible, right? I mean, it's pretty irresponsible for Reader's Digest to tell their readership that they cannot do deadlifts, burpees, crunches, squats, all of these movements. It really is. I mean, these people that maybe were doing these previously are going to stop, and they're going to now become less capable in their lives and more likely to be injured from a stumble or fall, or less likely to save their lives if they fall down and get hurt in some way to get up. So it's pretty irresponsible, and I imagine as somebody that cares for these people and helps them to become more capable, it's pretty frustrating.
Oh, very. I mean, I'm a part of a couple of Facebook groups, and we, after seeing this and talking to each other, and we had one of the main guys put together a video, post it, and we shared it. It got shared thousands of times about, and finally and we even emailed, they emailed Reader's Digest, and they came back and they changed the title of the article, and now they're letting us send in stuff for one person to do 2 follow-up articles on that, because they realized this isn't the direction that they should be going, and that we need to get these people to know that they're strong and that they need to stay moving. And so it's pretty cool that's what in the end kind of happened. And so they're gonna put together 2 articles and figure out what's gonna be next. So.
Well, good. Hopefully that'll get out to them and people will start moving again. So. Yeah. Well, Tyler, I appreciate your expertise and spending a few minutes with us, because movement's so important. It's important for you and I. It's important for young people, our kids. It's important for the geriatric population. And I know both you and I, as a PT and as a chiropractor, are passionate about movement. And it is going to be what, if we can get people moving and staying functional and fit, it's going to improve the health of our whole communities.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it'll improve the health, and then the healthcare system too. It'll decrease costs, decrease ER visits, everything. We decrease the risk of falling. We increase the ability to stay independent within the home, and that's the important thing, so that we can decrease the cost of healthcare, so that we can increase the health and quality of life of all these people. And it's such an important thing. Exercise, nutrition, and a lot of that stuff goes together well, and to keep these people in their homes and out of the hospital. So.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll talk again. We'll do another one of these another time on another subject, maybe.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good. See ya.
Thanks.